Nizzy Sports Chat. I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video, you guys are going to be breaking down the Oilers' performance last night with a huge victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. 4-1 the final, you guys. Probably one of the most complete games you've seen the Oilers play all season against one of the tougher opponents in the league. Obviously, the Tampa Bay Lightning are one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. We dropped them down to a 37-15-6 record after last night's loss to the Oilers. Oilers improved to a 32-23-4 record on their season. Sitting at 68 points on the season now. I think we sneaked back into that third spot in the Pacific Division. Tied with Vegas right now, but we got the upper hand on them due to the amount of games played, I think, or maybe the games that we've beat them. But nonetheless, we're back in the playoff position right now. Still got to keep grinding, still got to keep moving forward. Got a tough stretch of games to finish off the season here. Got about 20 games left or so. The Oilers are definitely going to need to make a good push here if they're going to want to solidify a playoff spot here heading into the playoffs. Definitely believe that this team has a good playoff chance if we can make it there. Just got to get into the dance and see where things go from there, you guys. Obviously hasn't been the season that we've wanted. We started off huge with that 16-6 record at the beginning of the season. Kind of been reeling since then. Haven't really been playing great hockey. Got a little bit of boost when Jay Woodcroft took over as the head coach there. Been reeling since then. Haven't really been playing a great bit of hockey as of late. The Oilers are a 4-5-1 record over their last 10 games. So definitely want to improve upon those numbers here. Good opportunity going forward. Obviously, we got the Detroit Red Wings coming up on Tuesday, you guys, to try and continue the win streak on to 3 games there. But 2 huge wins in the last couple games here, you guys. Like I said, 4-1 versus Tampa last night. That was a massive victory for us. And then that huge 4-3 overtime win versus the Washington Capitals a few nights ago. Definitely needed that one as well just to kind of get things back on track for this squad. Koskinen with a huge performance last night versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. One of the big reasons we were able to stay in that game and win the game last night. Had 31 of 32 saves. Just stood on his head for us in key situations throughout the game. It was a close game throughout the entirety of this one, you guys. Obviously the Oilers get out with that early goal in the first period there. McDavid from Yamo and Barrie. To get things rolling, and then we just could not put it home on the power play for the life of us last night. Obviously, we got the 1 power play goal in the second period there, with McDavid scoring that one again from Draisaitl and Barrie, to at least get us on the board with the power plays. But we had 7 power plays in last night's game, you guys, and we're only able to pot it home 1 time. I mean, if we could just score at a little bit better of a clip on those power plays, you guys, this would have been an absolute dust station of a game. I mean, the Oilers were outworking the Lightning, from start to finish pretty well in this one. I mean, it was one of those games where you could just see the squad really just outplaying their opponent, which was nice to see from a start to finish. The chances we were getting, obviously, with, 49 shots on net as well. Elliott played outstanding for the Lightning, saving 45 of his 48 shots on net. Obviously, the 49th shot came on that empty netter where Yamamoto was able to put it home from Kane and Nurse for the empty net to seal the deal 4-1 for us there, you guys. Obviously, Draisaitl had that big goal on the kind of half-ass breakaway there in that third period after they had scored to make it 2-1, to push it to a 2-goal lead again. So that was a big-time goal for us in that third period there. And it was just nice to see the team hang on, play a hard-nosed style of hockey from start to finish in this one. And those are the kind of efforts that you're going to need against these big-time opponents, these playoff caliber teams, heading down the stretch of this season here. Like I said, we got about a quarter of the season left. The Oilers are really going to have to step it up here. They're right in the thick of the race here for the wild card / top 3 in their division right now. We're going to want to put a stretch of games together here. I think, like I said, we got around 20 games left, and we can win 12 to 15 games here the rest of the way. I think that'll solidify us in a nice playoff spot. And we should be a playoff team, in my opinion, you guys. Obviously, we had, the struggles during the middle of the season this year. But if you look at the team on paper and all the assets and all the talent that we have, accumulated on this squad, there's no doubt in my mind the Oilers should be a playoff team this year. Obviously, Mike Smith has been struggling in net. The last month or so, he's been dealing with injuries all season as well. But Koskinen has stepped up huge for us, you guys. He has been outstanding this season. A breath of fresh air in the goaltending room. Obviously, he had a bit of a tough stretch there in the middle of the season as well, but he's really come into his own here as of late in the last 10 or 12 games or so. He's just been playing phenomenal hockey for us in net, just being real solid, rock steady for this Oilers squad, which you love to see. So hopefully Mike Smith can get things going, before the playoffs start here. We still got a good month and a half of hockey left, so there's ample time for him to kind of get back into a nice rhythm out there in net. But at the end of the day, you guys, it might be one of those situations where Koskinen ends up getting most of the starts throughout the playoffs. I know last season we rolled with Mike Smith in the playoff games there. Obviously, we didn't even win a fucking playoff game against, I believe it was the Winnipeg Jets last season. Just a tough go all around. This year, I'm hoping for a different story if we can get into the playoffs here, you guys. I think Koskinen will probably be your main dude, and sprinkle in a little bit of Mike Smith here and there. But he's just so old now, almost 40 years old, if not already 40 years old. He's kind of coming to an end on his career here. It's nice to see Koskinen really step it up so far this season. I think Skinner's going to be a nice added addition come next season, probably take over that full-time role, take over Mike Smith's position there. I've liked what I've seen from him in the few starts that he's had for the squad this season as well, you guys. But overall, just a nice solid performance from the boys. Like I said, got to make that push for the playoffs now. We're tied with Vegas at 68 points apiece. I believe we played the same amount of games as well, even though we are sitting ahead of them in the standings now, taking over that third spot in the division. And then Vegas dropped down into that wild card spot. But nonetheless, you guys, there's people chomping at the bit here trying to catch us. We're trying to catch some others as well. So the Oilers just got to keep the ball rolling here. Continue to play good hard-nosed hockey like what we seen last night versus Tampa Bay. Like I said, had another good game there against the Caps as well, winning in overtime 4-3. And that's the kind of hockey you're going to have to play going down the stretch here. Like I said, we got to kind of get ready for that playoff mentality. There's going to be some absolute slugfests coming up with some good time opponents. And the Oilers are just going to have to keep their noses in the dirt and keep grinding, man. It's not guaranteed yet that we're in that playoffs. Obviously, as of right now, we're just barely hanging on to a spot, but we're definitely going to have to make a good, solid push here this last month and a bit of the season to, solidify ourselves in the playoff berth, which I think, like I said, I think this team can make some good noise in the playoffs. We just got to get there first and foremost. So it's time to lock in as a squad here and just, grind out this last little stretch of games. We got the talent on paper to do it, you guys. We just got to put it all together, play with that heart and that hustle out on the ice. And I think we'll be just fine. So that pretty well wraps her up for this video, you guys. Just wanted to do a little recap of last night's game and kind of see where the Oilers are standing here heading forward for the rest of the season. Would love your guys' opinion in the comments section down below. How do you think the Edmonton Oilers fared in last night's matchup versus the Lightning? And what do you think our chances are coming up on Tuesday against the Detroit Red Wings? Would love your guys' opinion in the comments section down below. That pretty well wraps her up for this one, you guys. Please go ahead and like this video. If you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thanks so much for watching, man. And this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports Chat. Bye.